We'll see temperatures back into the mid to upper 80s. Rain chances increasing as the day wears on, up to 80 to 90% going into tomorrow evening. More storms possible as we head into Friday. We'll break it all down and have the complete True View forecast coming up in just a bit.
Nowadays, technology and entertainment go hand in hand. But what happens when that same technology starts to do more harm than good? I'm Anna Fisher, your Iberia Parish reporter here in New Iberia, where I spoke with one local family who's working to inform parents about the dangers of social media.
There will be no marriage. There will be no grandbabies. This is what we're here for.
From the outside, Brandy and Tony Roberts seem to have it all.
You're going to the Bahamas, you're going to Alaska, you're getting the nails done, you're letting her be the baby.
Teenager.
Yeah.
But looks can be deceiving.
You get a message 3:30 in the morning.
Asking if we had checked on England.
England is Brandy and Tony's 14-year-old daughter. But on September 7th, 2020, their lives changed forever.
So we go upstairs and her door was locked, which was odd because she never locks her door. So we're knocking on the door and there was no answer. So we took the key from the top of the door and opened it, and we looked in the room, still no England. And we kept yelling for her, and then my husband went to look on the side of the bed, and when he looked behind the door, that's where she was.
England had attempted suicide and passed away days later at the hospital. Without any history of mental health issues, these grieving parents wondered if social media played a part in England's death.
I remember looking at my daughter's phone and finding some of the different posts that Instagram, through its algorithms, had sent her. And I remember seeing some of the other harmful stuff, like a lady who was mimicking self-strangulation.
And then the Senate hearing happened.
All of these internal documents that show they are very well aware of what they're doing to kids.
Back in January, the CEOs of major social media platforms gathered in Washington to talk about the dangers of social media. After Facebook whistleblower Frances Haugen presented her findings, the Roberts were convinced.
She had discovered many documents that Facebook had done their own internal research, and they knew that they were causing online harms, especially to teenage girls.
What happens time and time again is that the senior executives at these companies don't care, because those same features that are leading to more bullying are leading to more time on the platform and making money for them.
Josh Golan is the executive director of Fair Play, a national nonprofit that works for policies that protect children online. One of these policies is COSA.
So the Kids Online Safety Act, or COSA, would require companies to consider how the way that they are designing their platforms is leading to serious harms like anxiety and depression and suicide and eating disorders, cyberbullying, sexual exploitation, social media addiction.
That's why the Roberts and many other families across the country are fighting for the COSA bill to become law.
Yes, parents have a role to play here, but the fact of the matter is these kids are spending so much time online, they're on so many platforms, and to ask parents to do this on their own is just is an unrealistic and unfair expectation.
They knew the harms, but they also knew what they were doing was causing the addiction piece. We sent a letter to Speaker Johnson asking him to please pass COSA now, immediately.
Suicide is the third leading cause of death among young people ages 15 and 24 years old. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we're bringing you resources in our neighborhood. The Jacob Crouch Suicide Prevention Services works with the Acadiana Family Tree in Lafayette to bring awareness, prevention, and support to all ages.
We have to talk about it. So if we don't talk about it, we're not going to know what to do. And that is scary. It's scary to ask somebody if they're thinking about suicide. So people might feel like they're not equipped, but suicide prevention is everyone's business. So having those skills and being prepared if it were to occur, I think is essential to saving lives.
While prevention is important, the organization also understands that support is key.
We also have a support group for anyone who's lost someone to suicide that we do. We offer it every other Tuesday of the month. And all they have to do is call the office and let us know that they want to join.
Nikki says that breaking the stigmas around suicide is so important to get people to talk.
And even in the suicide prevention world, we say died by suicide instead of committed suicide. So changing the language in that sense too helps, because like back in the day, suicide was considered illegal. So that's where that term comes from. So committed a crime, committed suicide.
According to LDH in 2021, suicide was the 14th leading cause of death in the state and the third leading cause of death for people between the ages of 10 and 34.
Really thinking about it as in one person dying every 11 minutes. Like that's a lot. It's a lot. And we don't talk about it. We don't hear about it.
If you or someone you know is in need of help, don't hesitate to call or text the Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 988. You can also chat at 988lifeline.org. You define the crisis no matter how little it may seem.
Welcome back. Well, as we're recovering from Monday's severe storms, we have another couple of opportunities of severe weather on the way as we head into tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, and perhaps portions of Friday, maybe even into Friday evening. Right now, we're hatched in for a slight risk of severe storms, which will include tornadic threat, damaging winds, maybe leading the pack, also the risk of hail. And there's going to be a fairly significant risk of flooding rain for the northern Acadiana parishes on northward. We'll get to that in just a bit. Let's get it over to the Key Wall, though, and take a look at the big picture as we look at the water vapor imagery and the upper level pattern. High pressure dominating aloft right now, but we have our next upper level low and more digging energy coming in from the northwest, and that's going to energize the subtropical jet stream and get these what we call mesoconvective complexes going once again. Threat of severe weather this afternoon, Texas Panhandle now expanding through Oklahoma up through southern portions of Kansas, and that severe weather threat will gradually migrate eastward across Texas during the day tomorrow. This is valid for tomorrow through 7 a.m. on Friday. So all of Acadiana hatched in for, most of Acadiana hatched in for a slight risk of severe storms, and it's going to be another all-mode severe weather threat. Now, we're not saying we're going to see a repeat of what we saw on Monday, but we're kind of in the same territory. The question is, how intense are the storms going to be? Damaging winds, the primary threat. Can't rule out isolated tornadoes and hail, and maybe an upgrade in this slight risk outlook area, and that may happen also for Friday somewhere maybe over here toward Mississippi. But this is the Friday severe weather risk. Once again, Acadiana in the list for 2 out of 5 on the scale for the risk of severe storms once again. Now, on top of that, we have a flood watch in effect for the parishes I-10 on northward for the possibility of several inches of rain. Weather Service calling it 1 to 5. That's a pretty broad range, up to 5 to 9 across portions of Cenla, maybe western Louisiana, where we've had flooding already and the grounds are saturated there. So we have that risk of excessive rainfall, mainly for the northern parishes, the central part of the state, and then that shifts off to the east as we head into Friday. But let's break it down with the graph model here, showing quiet period overnight tonight through much of the day tomorrow. Few showers and storms developing late in the day, and then here comes the beast as we head into Thursday evening. A supercell thunderstorm complex or mesoconvective complex capable of producing damaging winds, hail, and maybe tornadoes. And then maybe another round of storms early Friday morning. We'll have to keep an eye on those, and then more action as we get Friday afternoon and evening, although not as widespread as what we expect for tomorrow evening. By Saturday midday into the afternoon hours, we should be in much better shape. Check out the energy here. This is called convective available potential energy, and it's going to be I-10 corridor. This is where the storms are going to have energy to work with along I-10 and then down to the south. But then into Friday, still plenty of energy for thunderstorms. Not necessarily means they're going to be storms, but if there are storms around, they could be intense. Tornado spin potential, also known as helicity, are indicating there will be the possibility of tornadic storms I-10 corridor through tomorrow evening. And then perhaps as we head into early Friday, there's going to be spin out there. It depends on whether we have storms. So a severe weather threat will be multi-day. And then on top of that, the rainfall through Friday and then going into Friday night into Saturday, area-wide 2 to 4. Isolated may see more. This is the graph model. Sometimes sometimes it runs hot. We'll see what it has for us later tonight at 10. Overnight tonight, though, nice and quiet, 69 your low. With that's where we should be this time of year. Generally fair skies and a waxing quarter flower moon out there. And then for tomorrow, partly sunny skies early, quiet most of the day. Clouds increasing as the day wears on, with the risk of storms developing late in the day at 40 to 50%. We go up to 90% for tomorrow night, 70% at least during the day on Friday, ending as we head into Saturday. Thereafter, it looks like a nice and quiet but hot summer pattern to follow. That's it for weather for now. We'll have more coming up later on.
Cajun softball star Brooke Elistad has seen a ton of success with the team. She earned Sunbelt Newcomer of the Year and is second on the team in RBI. But there is a motivating factor for her that's much bigger than herself. It comes from a loved one, which is why she wears the number 17.
She was so special, and I'm so sad she can't be here. And I'm just so glad we get to do things out of memory for her.
Kate Marty dreamt of being a great softball player. Her older sister Grace and Brooke Elistad played travel ball together in Wisconsin, and Kate's desire for greatness drew her closer to the UL Star.
You have to work hard to get there, and that's what she did, is always working hard, always positive, always smiling. She's just like a breath of fresh air.
But on June 6, 2022, Kate passed away in a UTV accident. She was only 14.
I was just in a horrible spot in life at that point, and to know that someone who loved life so much got to lose it, it just kind of sucks because I wanted to be there for them so bad.
Elistad lived in Minnesota at the time, dominating the diamond with the University of St. Thomas.
That one's back at the wall.
But after 2 seasons, she entered the transfer portal. The Wisconsin native needed a new place to call home, and the Marty family held a relationship that became the perfect pitch to Elistad.
That's my baby.
They bonded with Cajuns head coach Jerry Glasgow, who also lost his daughter, Jerry Ann, in 2019.
I just can't be more thrilled that Brooke's a Cajun, and the chance that we've gotten to see more of the Raging Cajuns. You know, on a Saturday when the Cajuns are playing, it just helps you get out of bed.
On her recruiting visit at UL, Elistad took photos in a Cajuns uniform, and the jersey she picked showcased